Alright, in today's video I'm going to try to get the best quality out of the DJI NEO, and for that I'm going to need a set of filters, and I bought these off of Amazon. They were cheap, they're a little over 20 bucks. I'll put a link down in the description. I'm not an affiliate, I just bought these. And they stick on, so it comes with extra sticky pads, and it has an ND8, 16, 32, and a 64. And I'm also going to have to change some settings. So you need to either have a remote for this or use the goggles. I'll be using the goggles. Alright, so first off in the goggles, I'm going to put everything back to defaults. So I'll go to settings, camera, aspect ratio of 16:9, and that way the Rocksteady EIS, it'll use that. And then I'll go down to advanced camera and then put my sharpness back up to 0, which is the default. So I'll go up here to my settings. I have them all set to auto. So we'll just see how it looks in auto, and then we'll go ahead and throw that filter on and see how it looks then. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hit record. Flip it into acro or manual mode, and then slide around. So when it's in manual, you want it to be 1/60 if we're recording in 4K 30. That's your shutter speed, 1/60. But in auto mode, there's no way of changing that, and I'll show you here. If I change it to where it's a true if I go to manual and I want my ISO at 100 for the best possible picture, that's what it would look like. And if I did my shutter speed at 1/60, this is what it would look like. So setting it at auto, notice my ISO went down. The shutter speed is all the way down to 1/80, 1/640. So I'll just leave it here and fly it around some so you can see in the different. It went down to 1/1000, 1/640. I'm changing my lighting the more I ride around closer to the trees, into the sun. 1/640. Let's turn it back around this way. 1/400. So at no time am I getting it anywhere close to 1/60 for my shutter speed. So I'll go ahead and flip it back to manual and just ride around a little while. Notice how blown out the house looked for a second. Let me go all the way back here. And show you here a wide open area, and I'll face towards the sun. And again, this is what it's looking like without having any filters on. Alright, so now I'll go ahead and put some filters on and try it out. Okay, so now I'll go back into my camera settings change this to 4x3 so I can use gyroflow, and it took the EIS off. And I'll do like others suggested and go down to advanced camera and change my sharpness to -2. So now notice if I go up and go to change the mode to manual, and if I wanted it ISO 1/100, shutter 1/60, it's very blown out. So here I can start adding filters and see what it looks like. And we'll go ahead and put this on. Hopefully I don't have to turn it off to do it. Now that 1/60 stays put, and I can use this one ND16. Okay, got it in position. I'll go ahead and get out of here. Hit record. Go ahead and go into manual mode again. And this is maintaining that 1/100 ISO, or it's maintaining the 100 ISO and the 1/60 for my shutter speed. So notice the dark areas are very dark. But all the rest of the areas look pretty good that have the light in there. I probably could have went with a lesser one, but I wanted to use a 16 for when I get out in these bright areas. And just see what it looks like with having this filter on. Whoa. Okay, so now I'll go ahead and put it back to manual mode or normal mode, and I'll change my ISO to auto, so that way when I get into the dark spaces it will go ahead and compensate. See how my ISO is going up? So I'll just leave it here and just fly it around. I'm going to sport mode at least. I'm not in manual mode, so I can leave that ISO change up. Big difference. Problem is my ISO is dropping down, so that means your quality is going to be a little worse. Whenever your ISO goes under 100, 100's the best possible picture. Once you get down a little bit, it starts to get a little grainy, depending on your camera. This one, since the sensors, look how different the house looks though than it did in the other one without having a filter on. And that's just with having that little cheap, little over $20 filter on. Alright, so I'll go ahead and flip it to manual and just give it a ride around. There we go. up to about 20 miles an hour, a little over 19. I'll do the same thing, go over here. Out in the open area. And that's it. Just want to ride around, see if the video quality looked any better. And yep, low battery, so I'll go ahead and bring it in. Alright, just to recap, I wanted to see if I can get the best possible video quality out of this Neo. And again, I bought these cheap filters. I'll put a link down the bottom. They're a little over 20 bucks. And it seems to work really well. They do have sticky tabs on them, so I don't know how long those sticky tabs will last, but it does have some extras on here. And you do have to use one of the compatible RC controllers, or you have to use the FPV goggles and the FPV controller. If not, you can't change the settings like I did today with the ISO and the shutter speed. And for me, this thing was made to be a selfie drone. So what you could do if you didn't have the controller and you're just using this as the selfie drone, what you could do is just put a filter on there. If it's a bright day, put a 16. If it's really bright, you can go up to the 32, maybe even the 64. That's really bright, maybe for snow or something like that. But you could still put the filters on, but you're not going to be able to manually change your ISO and shutter speed. But it will definitely give you better video quality when you're using it even in selfie mode. Alright, that's it for this video. The next video I'm going to try to take it into the woods like I did the Avata and see how it does there. And until then, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.